Tim Linger. Carolina Reaper. Carolina Reaper. Tim Linger.
Thank you, Toastmasters. We're going to talk about the Carolina Reaper. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's hot. But first, we're going to talk about the bell pepper. The bell pepper, on the Scoville scale, which everyone has access to a copy of it, is a complete 0 on the Scoville chart.
I'll take a
Jalapeno's coming. What does that mean? 0 is the loneliest number. Sorry. Just share it. I'd like to know how many people would like to taste the bell pepper, to confirm that it's a 0 on the Scoville chart. If you look at the chart, some of those peppers you'll recognize. The jalapeno, the ghost pepper, habanero. Now, some people think the jalapenos are pretty hot. I'll let you decide. Now, how many people would be willing to take a bite of this? It is 20. Look at this. We already have a volunteer. It is 2,500 minimum on the Scoville chart. Everyone watch Blake. 2,500 to 8,000 on the Scoville chart. And if you go up the list, you can see that the habanero, the ghost pepper, is hotter. Now, I'm not one to like peppers. A little bit of flavor is okay, but to me this is hot. So I'm not eating that. But a friend of mine wanted me to do the Carolina Reaper chip challenge. Yeah, see, it's the hottest pepper in the world, arguably. So I decided that I was going to grow one. I got the plant at Home Depot. He was a cute little guy, about this big, and I planted it. I loved him. I loved on the little guy. It grows about 2 feet tall, maybe 20 inches wide. And I got a baker's dozen out of it. That's 13 for you non-rednecks. I got 13. These guys, these little peppers, not shown to size, are ugly. They're ugly. They're actually only about as big as your thumb. They're tiny. Ugly. Now, Mama thinks it's cute, but that's about the only person in the world thinks it's cute. But I was determined to grow one, a plant, and harvest them. My wife says, why would you do that? You don't eat them. You won't even eat a jalapeno. Oh, it's me. It's what I want to do. So I harvest my 13 peppers. And I picked them by hand, and a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine, said, you're not supposed to touch those. But it's okay. You know, you take them by the stem, put them in a bag, it's okay. But now it's time to do something with them. So my wife is cooking dinner, and I take a knife. No, actually, I had read on the internet that you're not supposed to touch them, especially when you cut them open. The problem is I didn't have gloves handy. I do now, and I'll tell you why. It also says to wear a mask. This is pre-COVID, didn't have one of these. And wear eye protection. Okay, I've learned a few things. Let me tell you what I've learned. So I start to cut them open, and immediately the fumes hit my face. And I remember when you cut open an onion, the fumes will hit your face. You burn a candle, right? That takes care of a lot of the heat. And that's actually a true story. What I'm about to tell you is also a true story. I have no gloves, no eye protection, no face mask. But the internet says to be careful and wear stuff. But if you're careful, I mean, you can always be careful. It's like painting a house. You're not going to spill any. You don't need to put drop cloths down. I'm going to be careful. So I'm careful. I hold the, by the way, I have some. Anybody here? Blake? Here, pass that down to Blake. I know he's going to taste it. Maybe Lonnie will taste it on the way. That's a dried Carolina Reaper, so please make sure it gets around the room. If it comes to this end empty, I'm okay with that. But let you know that milk and ice cream is not available at this meeting. So you're on your own. So I'm carefully cutting up the Reapers, and the fumes are hitting me. And you know what happens when you don't have use of your hands? Your forehead itches. Your chin itches. Right? But that's okay, I'm being careful. And as I get done, my wife says, you know, dinner's going to be ready in 5 minutes. So I'm hurrying along, and my face starts to hurt a little bit. And my fingers are hurting. And dinner's going to be ready, so I figure I better stop. And I know, just like going into surgery, you wash, and you scrub. And you scrub. And you scrub. 45 seconds, which is a long time. I'll wait. No, I don't have time to wait. So I feel pretty good about this. So I sit down, and what are we having for dinner? Finger food. Chicken. Kentucky Fried. But it's okay. I've scrubbed down, and I'm digging into it. And next thing I know, yeah, I found out that the Carolina Reapers are oil-based. You really can't wash this stuff off, especially because under your nails. So before you know it, I get some right there. Yeah. So I got some on my tongue. It was hot. It was really hot. Ow. Did I touch that? Ow. I touched my head. It was hot. It was so hot. It was hot. Even the devil would say, that's hot. That's a hot spot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. And I'm in extreme pain. My wife takes me over to the sink, and she's rinsing me down, and my shirt's all wet, and now my chest is on fire. And by this time, my eyes start to swell up. Did I say this is a true story? Because it is. I'm laying on the couch in total pain. Total pain. Did I say I was total pain? To summarize this, never, not ever, never, ever, 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 ever touch a Carolina Reaper without protection. Thank you, Toastmasters.